One of the greatest light heavyweights in the game right now, the one and only Khalil Rountree Jr., struggling with that phone more than he might struggle with Jamahal Hill. What's up,
Sorry,
Khalil?
guys. What's going on?
Same old, brother. Same old. We were just saying, obviously, we'll see you in not a couple of weeks, next month, June 21st, Azerbaijan, Baku. Tell me what your feelings were when you first found out you were going to be fighting in Azerbaijan.
Honestly, my feelings were excitement. I mean, when the emotions settled that, you know, the fight would be rescheduled, I was pissed off when that happened. That was for sure. But when they told me that they got it rescheduled and that it would be in Azerbaijan, I was excited because when am I ever going to go there on my own? So it seems like a beautiful place to go and visit and fight. So I'm fired up.
Awesome. And Khalil, just in terms of the training camp and coaches and things you were doing in preparation for the first date, how much changed? What did you have to do to shuffle things around to kind of, you know, postpone it? I know that's always really tough for fighters when they get close. You know, a lot of things go into that, into the weight cut. How hard was that to adjust? Or was it a good thing, depending on where you were?
I'd say overall, man, it was just a good thing. I just slowed down a little bit, just like because we were 4 weeks out, so I was just now starting to kind of ramp up my energy. You know, I was ramping up my energy, but then when the postponement happened, I just kind of let off the gas a little bit. I stayed training every day, but just the intensity died down a bit to just give me time to focus on, you know, some of the things that we've been working on. So it was kind of a blessing. It just gave me, you know, more time to stay in shape. Yeah.
Just remind me. Oh, sorry, Khalil. I was going to say, just remind me, why did it get postponed or rescheduled?
From what I understand, that there was an injury on Hill's part, but I don't know too much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much of the info, but it seems to be that's what it was.
So given the state of the light heavyweight division right now, obviously, you know, you fought for the belt recently. Jamahal has fought for the belt. You're two of the top guys in the division. Magomed Ankalaev is the champion. What do you think? Do you think this gets you a shot at Magomed or Pereira? By the way, give me your thoughts on that fight. Just give me your thoughts on the light heavyweight division right now.
My thoughts really, like my honest thoughts on the light heavyweight division right now are I'm just preparing to become the champion, however that looks. So I plan to win against Jamal, and I want to fight for a title again. I really think that I'm ready to become the champion. I'm ready for it. You know, like that fight against Alex was the thing that kind of helped me answer that question for myself. And now that I've been through that and been through that type of war, I know that I can do even more. I know I can do better. And so I'm ready for it again. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm going to continue to do the same amount of work until my time comes again. And that's really all I care about is getting that belt.
And Khalil, along the lines of kind of being in there with somebody like Pereira, putting out the fight that you did and going to battle with him like that, and then talking about knowing that now you know you're capable of achieving that, right? And I know I've seen a lot with you and John Haggerty's coach doing Muay Thai and mixing things up. Just what were some things that you really wanted to focus on most, having been in there with him and moving forward in your career? Not fixing a bad way either, just things that I know you're a guy that likes to really be focused on certain things and working on things. So what kind of was the main thing that you were looking to change after that fight or add?
I did. Yeah. I just, in that fight, I didn't like feeling like the small guy. I didn't. Like, I really felt like I felt Alex's, like I felt that he was bigger than me. I felt the size. I felt the strength, especially on the receiving end of the punches and stuff. And like, although there were a few moments where I was able to push him back, I think that it took more energy than I would have liked it to. And the only way to get that type of, the to get used to that is to train with bigger guys, or, you know, have to push around a little bit more weight so that these guys don't feel as big. You know what I mean? Like, I really did feel like a smaller guy. So that was a lot of my reasoning for working with Christian, aside from us just having great chemistry. I was just kind of looking for somebody that was going to help me just really push to my maximum, you know, to my limit. And that also understood Muay Thai and what I like about Muay Thai, and we clicked, and it's been a great matchup. And John Wood's still included. Like, John Wood's the
just
best
adding on
MMA brain. Yeah, just adding on to, you know,
And Mike, have you seen this guy, Mike, the guy that works with Haggerty and the Christian?
I've seen Khalil working with this guy, and he's from the UK, right?
Yeah,
he's from London.
Yeah.
And he's the man. I watch their pad sessions. I watch all that. Like, I love. So when I saw you working with him, that's why I wanted to bring it up. I was like, that's awesome.
Well, I hate to bring it up, boys, but, you know, outside of Thailand, the UK has the best Thai boxing on the planet.
Hey, man,
that's true. That's fact.
Maybe I don't argue with you there. I mean,
thanks for bringing that up, because that's absolute truth, and I back you.
Yeah. No, it is true, though, that the level of Thai boxing in the UK is extremely high. There's so many 100%. Talented guys there, but there's just no money in it. It's such a shame, you know, because these guys go to effing war and they get paid next to nothing. It's wild.
Yeah, it is crazy. Mike, I'm British by heart, man.
Let's go. That's why we got you on the podcast, Khalil.
I told somebody, I say this all the time. If I could pay like $100,000 to have a British accent, I'd do it.
Khalil, do an English accent for us. Come on.
No, I can't.
Come on.
Mike always try to get you to do it.
I don't want to embarrass myself. It's got to come naturally.
Khalil, I'll try and do an American if you do a British. I can't do an American accent. I'm leaving for an acting role tomorrow. I cannot do an American accent to save my life. And you know what the funny thing is now? Because I've done auditions for English roles, but because I've lived in America for 14 years.
They're like, you're not English enough.
There's a little tweak of American. They're like, we're really confused with his accent. What's going on? Is he English or American? All right, so I won't ask you that. Just going back to the size thing, Khalil, obviously size matters. Pereira is a giant, right? He's gigantic. But so's Magomed Ankalaev. So have you thought about maybe 185, or is that just out of the question?
No, I started my professional career at 185, and it's not smart. For me to, as I'm, you know, growing and maturing, I love to eat and I love to train hard, you know, so I think that I don't want to starve myself, you know. To make 185, I can fully nourish myself and still get a great, you know, 6 hours a day of training in. I'm feeling good. I feel like I wouldn't be able to nourish myself the same if I was trying to make 185. And for me, I'd rather get bigger than get smaller. You know, like I'm not one of the guys that promotes like cutting weight and dropping weight classes if you don't have to. So I just prepare for going against guys, you know, like Pereira, like Ankalaev, doing whatever I can to get stronger, to get, you know, better, more well-rounded, so that I have answers to everybody's things, everybody's problems that they're bringing to me. I've got an answer for it. And until that belt's wrapped around my waist, man, that's the main focus.
And then Khalil, along the lines of preparing for these guys that are just, you know, monsters in there, big guys that you've got to deal with at the top of this division, was there any added stuff for strength and like conditioning and things like that, or did you feel it was mainly just having some bigger bodies around you to physically go with? And has lifting been a big part of your regiment at all in the past?
My strength and conditioning program lasts year round. I never stop that. So if there's no fight,
you look like it.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean?
If there's no fight, like if there's no fight on the books, then I'm in my strength and conditioning, but just in a different phase. We break it up in phases. So, you know, everything is strategic to fight timing. all the way down to the weight cut. Like my last 5 fights, I haven't cut over 5 to 6 pounds in a cut, you know, just because that's just how we have things structured to where like everything is just smooth and I can perform on fight night. So yeah.
Am I correct in thinking, Khalil, that you used to be a heavier guy, a much like more out of shape guy, right? You haven't always, because you know, some guys are just blessed with that DNA where, you know, this sounds bad and it's not designed to be like white guys. We're like, these black guys, they're always ripped. Do you know what I mean? But you used to be heavy, right?
Yeah, I was 305 pounds at 19 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
so
right.
that MMA is like my first real sport that I ever competed at. Started at 20 years old. Just joined the gym to turn my life around, and ended up being something for me.
So 305 pounds at 19. What were you doing? Were you just eating terrible, shitty foods?
Yeah. Fast food, soda, gas station food, 2 packs of cigarettes a day. That's it. That's pretty much like.
That's right. You were a big smoker. I remember. It's funny, Khalil, because you get to a point in your career, and I'd say this is a positive thing too, right? There's so much to talk about with you that we almost forget that like, you know what I mean? That was a storyline when we're seeing you for the first few times, and now, you know, you're
It's cool.
Dogs, you're
like,
fighting for belts.
I love that's my story, and I think that a lot of people have been inspired by that. But man, I'm so like I'm still the same me, but like I'm miles. I'm so far away from that guy. you know, like, of course. Like that. I'm. It's good to look back and to see how far I've come, and to look forward and see how far I'm still going to go. So it's a nice place to be in right now.
We often talk about diet and stuff like that on here, and people always say if they're negative, oh, it's easy for you guys, you do it for a living or whatever, you know, but just some basic dietary guidelines will make a big difference in your life. Like I always say, you know, you got to cut out all the processed shit. Don't drink your carbs, drinking soda and stuff, drinking tons of beer and pizza. It's obvious. But what are some like basic diet tips that you would give to anybody listening? Because a lot of people struggle with their weight, you know, men and women. And for men, it's almost like they don't want to talk about it because they seem like a pussy, you know. But what is some advice that you would give, Khalil?
Eat real food. You know, like that's honestly that thing that helps me the most, like eating real food. So like eat your proteins, eat your vegetables, cook your own food at home too. Like I make some of the best stuff, and like I think the best stuff for you is just the natural stuff. The other day, man, like I ate so much just watermelon with Greek yogurt. Like I just put that in a bowl and like smashed it down, and it was an amazing snack. Like I just felt like, you know, could I have eaten ice cream? Yeah, but I'd rather eat something that's more real, you know, more natural. So less ingredients, like stuff in the boxes, like just try not to eat stuff that comes in a box. Like when you go to the grocery store,
stay out of the aisles. Stay out of the
aisles. It really is that simple. Like it's cliche, but it really is that simple.
Yeah. It is
perimeter. Like
at a grocery store, all the vegetables, fruits, and meats, yogurts,
the perimeter,
cheeses. Like there's stuff you can get for snacks. Doesn't have to be down the aisles. Down the aisles, you're getting the cookies, the cakes, all that shit.
Exactly. And dude, honestly, like that, as cliche as it is, and as many people may joke about it, it's the absolute truth. You go straight to the other aisle, you know, get some potatoes, get some broccoli, you know, get some spices. There's more than enough options there for people to eat healthy. I think it's just a decision thing. So eat real food, and I guarantee, you know, you do that for 90 days, I guarantee you'll feel so much different about yourself.
Yeah. And this is so true as well. And again, it's like I'm getting on my high horse and lecturing. When you start doing that, you stop craving the bullshit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a bowl of ice cream. I love a bit of chocolate here and there, of course, you know, but generally you stop craving all the pizza and the processed shit because, I mean, it's well known now. It's all over Instagram and social media, but it's full of highly addictive chemicals. And once you make the change, you don't really crave it anymore.
Yeah. One of the things when I first started losing weight, and a rule that I gave myself, if I couldn't pronounce the ingredients on the box, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
You know, or if I didn't know what it was, if it was like something that like I'm like, oh, I don't even know what that is.
Something gum in there.
You know,
gum What?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. So, I know it's in broccoli. I know it's in peaches. So let me just grab some of these.
All right, yeah, but with all that aside, if you want Azerbaijan, you have the weigh in, you're feeling good, you're looking ripped. It's the cheat meal. It's not the treat meal. You've made weight. It's the night before. What are you going for? By the way, I don't know what the local food is in Azerbaijan, but what are you?
That's what I'm going for. No, that's what I'm going for. The local food looks amazing. I can't pronounce anything yet. But it's got a very it's a good mixture of Mediterranean, kind of some Turkish influence. There's a lot of meats, proteins, vegetables.
Cabbage. I feel like a lot of cabbage.
I don't remember seeing cabbage, but I do remember just seeing some good veggies. It reminded me of Turkish meets Mediterranean. So It looks good. I'm excited. So I think my post weigh-in meal is going to be something that's local to Baku.
Okay. Jamahal Hill, slugger, aggressive guy, power in the hands. How do you beat this guy?
Any way that I want, to be honest.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Any way that I want. And that's just where I'm going to leave that.
Confident. On Friday, Paul, I went, there's a gym, or there's a guy now that's doing the rounds that is doing so much for the fight world, certainly down here in Orange County. Khalil knows who I'm talking about. Bear from the Jaxxon podcast. So he has the Jaxxon chain, he has the Jaxxon podcast, and he's just launched a new brand called Santos Studios, and it's high-end clothing stuff. And he's built a gym specifically there. He's built another gym across the street. He's built a jiu-jitsu studio. He's putting a lot of money and time and effort. Of course, it's a business and he's going to make money, but he's giving back to a lot of fighters. And the reason I bring this up is because he's doing a lot of merch with guys, and I know he's doing merch with Khalil, and the merch is actually available in Nordstrom's very, very soon, right?
No, now nationwide, 91 stores. Yeah, man, we're taking over. We're taking over. So yeah, So Bear is he's a madman mastermind. The guy's got so much energy and so much vision, and the heart, man. He's got such a giant heart. So the team, where we've got professional skateboarders, we've got motocross riders, we've got surfers, MMA fighters, jiu-jitsu people, one big community of extreme sports athletes, with just highly fashionable quality clothes, shoes. It's one of the best communities that I've been a part of, honestly. It's not even just oh, shout out to my sponsor. We're say it a lot of time, one team, one dream. And we're inclusive. We want everybody to be involved. We want to, support the sports, keep everybody stylish. Man, it's amazing. I'm so happy to be a part of the team.
And it's really cool stuff, Paul, as well. Maybe I'll reach out to Bear. I'll get you some free shit.
Yeah, I got to look a lot cooler, and maybe Khalil can help me out with that. And Khalil, is it safe to say then that you've got aspirations and probably goals set for yourself post-career? You seem like a guy that's got a lot of interest and is someone that, your passion is going to go beyond fighting. What is that for you at this point? Or do you even think that far?
Paul, I used to think that far, but right now I'm telling you, man, my only focus right now is becoming the champion and getting that belt.
Oh, that's good to hear, man.
But my heart is open to my interests. I love fashion. I love clothing. I love creative stuff, videography, film, just anything that involves creative input and creative outlook. I just think that's what keeps the world bright, and colorful. You got to have creators to just make things, interesting. So my heart will always be open to that type of stuff because that's just who I am. I keep my interest open, but right now, once I get the belt, that's my main focus until it's done. But I'm keeping the energy, I'm trying to keep my energy, my mind, my heart alive so that I can do whatever I want to do after fighting.
Later on. Yeah.
Nice. Last question before we let you go, Khalil. And as always, thanks for your time, and we'll see you out there. And best of luck with the rest of camp. Pereira, You must have
Yeah.
seen this bit of a social media storm that happened recently. He claimed he was hacked. Apparently, you know, they offered him a short notice fight against Magomed. He turned it down. Then they brought in someone else. Then he puts out a scathing statement saying screw the UFC or whatever. Then he claimed he was hacked. What was your thoughts on all of that stuff? Just because we're just trying to get a clickbait. We're trying to get some headlines, baby.
Yeah, no, I understand. Honestly, man, like I heard about both. I heard about like, yeah, getting hacked, all this stuff. I honestly, I haven't been able to pay enough attention to really give too much of a detailed opinion. But, dude, I'm such a neutral guy. Like, even if he did, I understand. Like, people get frustrated, whatever. Like, he's done so much for the UFC in the past, you know, couple years. Maybe he just had a moment of breaking and let it loose. Who knows? But yeah, we're all human. We make mistakes sometimes. If he did get hacked, that sucks. If he didn't get hacked, like give the guy a break, you know. Like,
you know what?
He doesn't really mean it. He doesn't really mean it.
You know
like,
what?
I'm sure after everything Alex has done, he loves the UFC, I'm sure.
And that is so mature, because you're absolutely right, because you know what it's like, and me and Paul know what it's like when you're at this level, fighting at the highest level against the best people in the world, and you got the whole world watching and scrutinizing your every single move. It can be hard. It can be difficult sometimes, and it takes a factor on the mind. Anyway, Khalil, thanks for your time, brother. All the best with the rest of camp.
Thank you
today for jumping on, and we'll see you in Baku.
Of course.
Yeah. See you
All
there,
right.
dude.
My man, there he is. He was out of here quick. He's like, don't ask me any more bullshit questions about Pereira. Stop trying to get your clickbait headlines, Bisping. I'm out of here.
Man. Read something.